Hello Marvel Heroes fans, today I'd like to make a video for the new players, and I've got some friends over the last couple of days who have just joined the game. So there are of course tons of questions on what to do with the game, how to play a game, and this and so on and so forth. So I thought it is good not only to create video guides for the end game content, and also for the new player as well. So if you are new to the game and you've just started playing Marvel Heroes, this is the right video for you, because I would like to give you a brief introduction to jumpstart your journey, not to cover everything that's obvious. You can discover the game as it is. So I'm not going to dwell too deep into all these nuances of the game. However, there's something that something that probably will help you to have a head start on this journey. All right. So just a little bit about myself. I've started playing the game about close to 2 years ago. I've joined the beta, and this game is more than 1.5 years old. So I've got all the heroes unlocked, all at level 60s, and about half of the roster there I've geared them up. So I do have a idea of what this game is about, so I thought it's good to share my experience to you if you are new to the game. Okay, so the first thing first, level cap is 60. So unlike many other games, leveling in this game is not difficult. It is actually pretty easy. For your first hero, you may spend around maybe 20 hours to get to level 60. Earlier, it is possible to be faster if you have the right boost. They hand out free boosts to you from time to time, or if there's an event that happens, give you XP bonus and so on. These are a good opportunity to level and to catch up on your progress. So, but as you gain, I think this game is more about unlocking heroes. So as you get more and more hero to level 60, the pace get a lot faster. They have something called XP bonus. When you have the first hero level 60, you gain a certain percentage of the XP bonus, and so on and so forth. So the more hero you unlock, the faster you become in terms of leveling. So I have about 200% extra XP bonus just because I've unlocked all my heroes. So that could happen to you too. So so don't worry about first hero. The first hero is about just enjoying the process. Now there are a couple of things that I'd like to cover here. So the first thing I usually advise people to pay attention to is first of all, this game encourages you to join a group when you go into an instance or story or whatever it is. So the options is under one of these gameplay, so you can play around with these guys, and you can have the hang on a second. So some of these are quite nice option to select. I think you totally should. Like for instance, join party when entering instance. So if you check that every time you enter an instance, you may join other people. So if social is your kind of game, then you can do that. But sometimes I find it a little bit confusing, because the experienced player tend to run all around, and you tend to try to catch up and don't know what to do. So if you like to just take your own pace, and enjoy the game, you can uncheck this guy. And there are other things that you should pay attention to as well on this option. So but anyway, these are all the options that you can do, and those are good things. The second thing that is I usually find very useful is to control what is displaying on this chat window. So you can actually uncheck social or trade or local, which I do because I find it too noisy. But I keep the LFG on because at end game I need to join groups. But if LFG is not your kind of gameplay right now, you can turn it off as well. So you keep it very much like just the party or to your guild is super group, by the way. It's very good. Keep the chat window open, because some people may whisper you and you will show, because if you close it, you can't communicate at all. So you are really on your own, which may or may not be a bad thing. Exactly okay, the third thing I would like to at least highlight to you is that here is the mission tracker. So this is one of the most confusing part about the game. A lot of people quit this game because they can't figure out what to do next. So it's important here you can toggle. So like for instance, the first window you see here is a called mission tracker. It's for the story mode. Then you click onto next one is that if you have level 20 and above, you have something called legendary quest. Then you have something called to tell you what objective to do. You click around, then you have like share quest as well, which I think from level 1 you have it as well. So or you close it, open it again. It's not all obvious. You can use page up, page down to control this whole thing. Don't need to click, but just pay attention that you can use this window to track your objective. And this game is not obvious when it comes to this. It can get really confusing when you like not sure, like should I do this, should I do that. Okay, another thing is about the buff. The buff window usually just close up, and it's kind of like crazy because the first thing I want to do is like what kind of buff I have. So sometimes it opens, sometimes it doesn't. But you can open this guy up by using a period, the key, or you can just click here to open and close. So that I hope at least you get some idea. And onto this UI here, also something that is not at all obvious here. You can toggle your hotbar. So this hotbar number 1, 2, 3. So you may configure your hotbar to be whatever here you like to see, or you can for more advanced user you may want to click 2 and you go to the second toolbar. But I find it very confusing. Those who has done the Diablo 1 or 2 may be familiar with you can assign F1, F2, F3. Sorry, F1, F2, F3. Okay, this hero doesn't have it, but you can do a F2 and then this one changes. If you are familiar with the Diablo 1 and 2, you probably know what I'm talking about. You can assign like some ability, like this one I want to make it as F2 and this one as F1. I can do that. So like look at this guy, F1, then F2, F1, F2. So so it control your left, right click button. So that is something that I think is quite useful if you are if you are run out of hotbar to use. Is unlike Diablo, you can actually exceed what kind of the bars that you see here. Okay, then after that you have a medkit. Medkit is here. You can assign. I assign space bar. I think by default is M. So you press M. You consume a medkit to heal yourself. But I find it quite useful to actually use a space bar instead. You can do all your key binding your way. Ultimate is something that after level 52, there's a very good power with a 10 minutes cooldown. Very special for each individual hero. You can press U and then it does like I win button. So this is I win button. This one is called a team up. So it is like a follower in Diablo. You can use a team up as fully passive or active or whatnot, but this button is the one that calls up the team up to help you fight. So that is provided that if you have team up. So that I hope cover a very wide range of stuff that you can start playing around with all these buttons, all this UI and whatnot. So that covers the UI. Okay, when you are started with level 1, my advice to you is that you go through a story mode. The story mode is very much like Diablo, have different level to it. So it started off with something called normal difficulty. Then after that go to heroic. Then after that go to super heroic. I think once you pass level 25, I think, or 30, you go into heroic mode. Then when you come to I think level 45, then you go to super heroic mode automatically. Or if you complete the story, meaning that you've defeated the end boss of the entire storyline. Actually, end boss of say Doom. I think Dr. Doom is the end boss. Although they have extended the story a little bit, then you automatically can go into the next difficulty level. Very much like Diablo, in that sense. Now, the reason why I advise you all to at least play the game once is that, okay, here, this is called a waypoint. A waypoint will contain, all these various places that you have been to and is opened up for you. Now, all these waypoints are open for all heroes. So if you have used one hero to play the story mode, and then the next hero will benefit from the first heroes, all the waypoints being open. So if you haven't opened some of these waypoints, then the next hero can't really see it. It's no big deal, but it's good to have them all open. And to open them, you have to explore in various story mode. And all these chapter waypoints are tied to difficulty level. So in normal mode, you have to open it to normal mode, heroic mode, and super heroic mode, right? So so that is one. Another thing is that so when you started playing the game, L is the quest, by the way. You can actually look into various quests and complete. So as you complete the quest, you have all these like checkbox to you, so you know that you have completed it. So for instance, chapter 3, I haven't completed this one yet, so it's all question mark. And it's not mandatory to complete all the storyline. I only complete 14 of them because all these 14 give me either PowerPoint or permanent spirit buff or permanent health buff. But how do you know which 14 to go? I'll make another video on that. But meanwhile, just experience the game, play as much story as you can. If you got stuck, don't worry, just jump to the next one. It doesn't really matter whether you have completed everything or not. This is not Diablo. So so how do you know where to go as you level up, right? So each chapter has a suggested story level bracket. So like for instance, chapter 1 is level 2 to 6. So if you are within 2 to 6, it's good that you go in there. You can still go in as level 8 or 9 and 10, whatever. So just that the mobs are already gray in color, you won't earn XP. However, you still earn the reward, like what I mentioned before, permanent health, permanent spirit buff, or PowerPoint that's given to you. So it is good to go back. You could end up, as you play the higher difficulty level, you may end up leveling slower than what the story progress. So for instance, chapter 8 is level 23 to 25, but you may be only level 18. So what does that mean is that if you go into this chapter, all the mobs become red or orange or red, become extremely difficult for you to tackle. So now this is not Diablo. The mobs level doesn't adjust to your level. So so be mindful when you play story mode. All these nuances that you have to tackle. All right. So leveling through the story is one way. There are many ways to level as well in this game. If you do not like the story, you can level through something called challenges. Now, challenges is something like it's open up for all level for this one. I think 2 and 3, meaning that Midtown Patrol is the one that has a level bracket to it. I think it's every 5 level you jump to the next instance. So you can stay on there. A boss will keep spawning. There are multiple people playing with you as well, and you can get to participate and play, and then attack the boss when the boss spawn. And as you level up, get gear and so on and so forth. Then you progress to the next bracket. So you can always go back to the same waypoint, and then because all the mob will become like gray to you, and there's not much experience point, so there's no point overstaying on one level bracket. So pay attention to the level bracket it says here. When you start with level 1, it may say level range 1 to 5 or 1 to 4, whatever it is, and then after that you have to go back to the next instance, choose the same Midtown Patrol again. It will then jump to level 5 to 9, I think. So it goes something like that. Holocene is like a survival game with objective. So you team up with another person, 2 people going in, and survive as long as you can. The higher the wave is, the more XP you get. So it is good stuff. X Defense is somewhat like Holocene, but it's not objective driven. It is basically, well, it's still somewhat like objective driven, but you have to protect the students in a group of 5. So there's a system, there's a matchmaking system to get the right people for you. X Defense, it is the bracket is 10 level bracket. So I advise you to go in at early level, like if you are level 12, 13, you go in X Defense, so you may gain a couple of level, and and go on so on and so forth. But you can also stay beyond the level. So for instance, if level bracket is 10 to 20, if you level beyond like 21, 23, 24, you can stay on. If a mob still give you experience point, and also because as you go higher, you get more XP. So it all balances out, so you can stay. As for the Industrial Patrol, City Patrol, this one is very nice, very interesting. It's something like Midtown Patrol, but it's like a better version of it. It's a new version of it. But you only start with the level 12, and it's a very exciting, all the player all come together fulfilling different objectives, as opposed to say Midtown Patrol, which is more like just grinding on the mobs and bosses that keep spawning. So this one is with objective. This is an alternative means for you to level. You don't have to go through any of this. You can go through a story, but if you find that your story stuck, meaning that you're not high level enough to tackle the next chapter, so what do? You come to this area and get XP and get gear as well. This gives you very good gear. So that cover what you can do level. Now, as you level, when you level beyond level 20, so level 1 to 10, 1 to 20, I would suggest you either go through the story and or go through some of these challenges mode. But as you go beyond 20, the things suddenly open up. Something called Legendary Quest. Legendary Quest is for you to it's somewhat like hang on a sec. For Legendary Quest is something like this one here, that will ask you to do a specific task. So the task come from something like Midtown Manhattan that I just showed you, the Industrial City Patrol that I just showed you one of the challenges, and also could be a story mode as well, and it could also be a terminal. Terminal is like an instance, like a dungeon in Diablo, whereby you can go in and complete certain objective and come out and just farm the boss and come out. These are very fast-paced stuff. They tell you what the reward is. They give you in-game currency called Odin Mark. Now, Odin Mark is something that as you accumulate, you can purchase for exchange for legendary items, and it is very good for you to collect all these things as well. So, end game stuff is this guy here. And also tell you what kind of experience you'll get and what kind of credits. So now, however, for any reason, if you do not like this quest, like I got stuck, I don't know what to do, I just don't like doing this one, you can click reroll, but reroll has a cost to it. So the higher your level is, the higher the cost of the reroll. So we can either accept or decline, and if you accept, then you reroll to the next one. So that cover the so-called, what is it called? That is the Legendary Quest. And you can keep doing Legendary Quest. In fact, the fastest way to level is through Legendary Quest. But you will miss out on your story if you're doing the first hero. So I don't know. I mean, I would suggest go through the story. Just take your time, open up the waypoint, experience the story, know what to do. But meanwhile, also be mindful that there are other ways for you to level, just in case you really don't like going through the story. All right. So now. So I talk about the story mode leveling. I talk about challenges. The one that you can come here for leveling. I talk about the various legendary quests that you can do from terminal point of view. Like like I mentioned, these are dungeons. And also, by the way, there are red and green dungeons. So green is easier than red. So I would suggest, if you are a veteran RPG player, like you are very good at other games, I don't know, Diablo, Torchlight, whatnot, then you may like to go to red terminal and test your skill. However, if you feel that it's a bit too difficult and take too long, then you can green terminal. It reward lesser XP, but at least you can go through it. So that is the terminal. So what else can I show you? Okay, another thing I'd like to show you is about Share Quest. Now, Share Quest is something that is on top of the story quest, on top of the legendary quest, is something called Share Quest. Share Quest is something very special. They give you like a big quest. These are the one that usually takes a while to complete. It's not something that you can complete within like the legendary quest you complete within like couple of minutes. No, this one probably will take around 5, 10, 15 minutes to complete. So each day they have a daily roll of the quest, and each quest will have their bonus as well. So you have chest, you have Omega points and whatnot, other in-game currency as well that you can go along with it. So so pay attention to this part as well, because this will give you extra XP, also give you good gear. So Share Quest, something that you should try to do every day. But if you cannot complete it, never mind. I mean, just experience the game. You don't have to force yourself to finish all these quests that are given to you. It just gives you a lot of content. Rather than you run out what to do, the game gives you everything that you can do, and then you can just if you just have like half an hour, just play half an hour, do some quests here and there. If you have like a couple hours, then you do Share Quests and whatnot. So that's one. Okay, so now so I hope at least you get an idea of how to level through the whole game, meaning that you can go through a story, you can go through legendary quests, you can go through Share Quests on daily manner, you can go through challenges, you can go through terminals. Now, so that cover how you should level and stuff like that. You can level. And the next thing I'd like to talk about is in-game currency. There are tons of in-game currency. I know it's very daunting for a new player when you open up and see, like for instance, if you open up your let me just close this guy up, it's blocking my view. If you open up the currency, it's like, what are all this stuff, right? There's so many stuff. So I know it's very daunting, and I fully understand, because when I play like Neverwinter, you know, I look at all the currency and say, what the hell is all this stuff? So I give you a very quick rundown on what these guys are, and my aim is to get you this equipped with, you know, what these are. You don't have to memorize it, whatnot, but it's good that at some point in time you mouse over and kind of like investigate what these are. So the first thing, as a new player, the most important thing is Eternal Splinter. These are the items that drop onto the ground every, I think, 6 to 7 minutes, depending on your special find boost. So these are the thing that, okay, how should I say it? So in a way, the game rewards you for every couple of minutes you play the game. They reward you with some in-game currency, so you can keep collecting all this so-called Eternal Splinter. And I think as a new player, as you complete a certain milestone in the game, they will actually give you a whole chunk of like Splinter as well. Now, what can you do with this Eternal Splinter? Very good question. So what you can do with this Eternal Splinter is you can come to this this vendor called Eternal Splinter Vendor, and this is where you can buy a lot of things, like things like team up, things like heroes, you know. All these things are all purchasable by Eternal Splinter. So, and even a pet as well, by the way. Oh, sorry, I don't want to buy a pet right now. So even a pet as well. So, you know, there are a lot of things you can buy here. You can open up any hero that you like: Spider-Man, Screw, Spider-Man, Rogue, Scarlet Witch, and, you know, Psylocke, you know, Nightcrawler, whatever it is. They each have a different price to it. So you can do your mathematics. I mean, you know, it does take some time for you to unlock, but however, having said that, I mean, you know, it is a game for you to play, so you can keep playing the game. Like, I don't think it's unreasonable to play the game for, say, like 20 hours to earn enough currency to open another hero for free, right? Because, you know, these are free-to-play game, and it's not something you keep. Like, basically just play the game, enjoy the game, and you're rewarded with new free hero. However, if you really want to buy the game, buy the hero, you can come to here, press X is to buy, and here are all the heroes that you can buy with various different prices. And sometimes I'll wait for, when I started playing the game, I wait until there's a discount or offer, then I'll buy some hero. But I mean, by all means, I mean, you can collect Splinter to unlock all these hero, and team up. Team up is like the follower to you, and it is not difficult to collect Splinter. By the time as you play, if you don't pay too much attention to it, you get it. Okay, so that's Splinter. OD Mark is very important. You can only earn it through legendary quest. You can only earn it through the share quest chests that come to you. So what do you use it for? Okay, you can use it to buy legendary items. So, you know, to buy legendary item, you can go to Odin Palace. As you open a game, you probably will know. And there are many type of legendary items. And again, I'm not going to cover in this game, like in this video, what you should buy or what should not buy. But just want to show you that there is something called legendary item vendor, whereby with the Odin mark, you can buy all these things here. So, you know, this will be the legendary go into this slot here, right? So legendary item has 5 ranks to it, and you have to use XP to unlock all the ranks. So it's quite interesting. You get a legendary item, and then you level the legendary item, right, using XP. Sorry, and on top of that, the OD mark can use for blessing, which give you an extra attribute to your artifacts, like all these artifacts here, like Blessing of Hela, which the kind of orange text you see, all these are very, very good end game stuff. So you would like to collect Odin marks for that. Okay. So I will not go too much about the rest of it. I think these are the one that as a beginner, these are the things that you should pay attention to: Eternal Splinter, Odin marks, right? And the credit here is what you have. This is a credit, and there's a credit cap of 3 million. But as a new player, you probably will not hit the credit cap too fast. But just bear in mind, once you hit 3 million, it will stop there, right? So that is something that you should pay attention to. Now, as you get gear on the ground and whatnot, you collect them. Now, when after you collect the gear, you can either sell it off or donate your gear. So you donate your gear, and you can level your vendor. So there are about 4 vendors to level in Marvel Hero. I would suggest you start leveling with the crafter first. So this is a crafter whereby, you know, give you many other recipe and whatnot as you level. So start with a vendor first, very first important. And the second one is level your enchanter. So after you level the vendor to the max, you level enchanter. The next two are the gear and the weapon, which is this one and this one. It is not that important. It's nice to have because after the vendor reach rank 17 and above, when you refresh, there's a chance to drop something special. So, you know, right now I don't really see it here. So do I see it here? See whether I can demo to you. So no. So anyway, there's some pretty good recipe, but it is more for completionist sake because it is not really that useful, the gear and vendor. But the most important thing is that you level your crafter to an enchanter to rank 20, which is the max, so that you can play endgame stuff. Otherwise, without it, it's a bit not that great. So that cover the so what have I covered so far? I talk about leveling, I talk about the in-game currency, I talk about where to spend your in-game currency, I also talk about the vendor that you need to level, which is very important. And the next couple of things I'd like to talk about is very straightforward here, just to again kickstart your journey, is that your costume is not just for the look and you know whatnot. You can actually have affixes to it, and to add affixes to your costume, you have to level your crafter, and then you can start to add either defensive or offensive. I would personally pick offensive, but that's yet another video to come on what to roll, what not. So, but you can do some research on this, like, you know, what to roll. I go for crit damage rating, and there's a range to it. So not just not only you roll once, you can keep rolling to get the max or near the max. If you search the internet, there's a compendium for this thing. So what happened is that you first of all you roll the affixes into this guy, into the costume, and then you use something called costume core to level up your costume. So you know all these affixes will then scale up, and you know it's very interesting. I strongly suggest you experience all this itemization. Are very interesting as well. You can do various things to it. If you are from the Diablo 1 or 2 world, there's something called rune words. So you know. And once you collect something called Euroforge, you can come to the enchanter here and to actually apply some rune word into the Euroforge. So these are very interesting stuff that you should look into. And last but not the least, as you level up, you collect something called unique gear. Unique gear is brown in color, or you know I think it's brown. So you know the gear in the Marvel Heroes. The gear is in Marvel Heroes is you know white, green, blue, purple, and then cosmic, which is yellow color, and after that is unique. Unique is a very special like set item designed for that hero. You can start collecting unique gear from level 1 onwards. They can have all these things. Now don't throw away your unique gear if you have enough space. Keep them. Why? Because you can actually come to the crafter in the future to upgrade your unique gear. So all these unique gear you can upgrade to 40, 50, 60. You can go directly to 60. So you can take a level like level 10 unique gear and then just pump to level 60. And there you go, you have an end game gear. But having said that, you still need to you know, collect multiple unique gear to make sure you have a high roll. But that's a different story. I mean, you know, getting a unique gear is step 1. Getting a very good unique gear, all the good rolls to it is the next one. So I hope this video is useful to you as a new player, to give you kind of like a kickstart, so that you know you may enjoy the game start from day 1. So well, thank you for watching, and you know, good to have you on board. And if you have questions or whatnot, you can message me in game. I'm Lace in game, or you can just drop me a comment in this video, and I'll just answer to you. All right. So good luck, and I'm sure you enjoy this game. Bye.